All right, we're going to be taking everything that we know about absolute value now and just going one step further. We're going to evaluate expressions that have absolute values in them. Our first example shows the absolute value of -8 plus the absolute value of -5. So when you're evaluating these expressions, you first take care of anything that's in the absolute value signs. So we're going to find the value of the absolute value of -8. -8 is 8 units from 0, so the absolute value of -8 is 8. The absolute value of -5, -5 is 5 units from 0, so the absolute value of -5 is 5. So all of this right here that we've just done, that's all what you're thinking in your head as you go to evaluate this expression. All right, so we look at the expression absolute value of -8 plus absolute value of -5. We're thinking about all of that, and so what we get here is we actually have a new expression, 8 plus 5, and 8 plus 5 we know is 13. So the original expression has a value of 13. This example is slightly different because we have an expression going on inside the absolute value symbols. And when you see that, you have to evaluate what's going on inside the absolute value symbols before you actually take the absolute value. So you can imagine that there are parentheses inside the absolute value symbols. We have to do what's inside there first. So we go over here and we're thinking, all right, what is the value of 5 minus 6? This is what we're thinking. And 5 minus 6 is -1. So we're going to replace the expression 5 minus 6 with the value -1. Notice we have not done anything yet with these absolute value symbols. They are still in our expression. So now we ask ourselves, okay, what is the absolute value of -1? So again, absolute value, we're thinking, all right, how far away from 0 is -1? -1 is 1 unit from 0. The absolute value of -1 is 1. So notice when you evaluate an expression like this where there's work going on inside the absolute value symbols, the first thing you do is evaluate what's going on inside. You leave the absolute value symbols in the problem, and then you find the absolute value lastly. All right, let's try another example here. Absolute value of -15 plus the absolute value of 10. Absolute value of -15 is 15. The absolute value of 10 is 10. 15 plus 10 is 25. All right, let's do one more example. The absolute value of 18 minus 12. 18 minus 12 is 6. So now we're looking at the absolute value of 6. Notice the absolute value symbol is still there. Now let's take the absolute value of 6. The absolute value of 6 is 6. So the final answer is 6. Notice the difference about how these two problems, how you show your work on those two problems. They are just slightly different, but you do have to show each step for each of the types of problems.